Welcome to AI Innovators Interview Series with special guest Nirmal Jingar. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the AI Leaders Council. And today I'd like you to meet our AI innovator, Nirmal Jingar, engineering and AI strategy leader for Wayfair. Nirmal, as mentioned, is engineering AI leader and also platforms and modernization at Wayfair, a leading home furnishings e-commerce platform with more than 15,000 employees and over 10 billion in revenue. Nirmal leads supply chain engineering teams and has delivered more than 300 million in annual savings via supply chain optimization and platform modernization. He's championed generative AI adoption. He's accelerated software development through AI coding pilots and reduced technology costs by 60%. Nirmal also works as an advisor outside of Wayfair and helps companies to scale their tech teams, building long-term strategies. Prior roles included SAP software and Sybadge software and more. Nirmal earned a Master of Computer Management, MCM, from the University of Pune and an MBA IT from Indira School of Management. Nirmal is a member of the Forbes Technology Council and the Mass Technology Leadership Council CAIO peer group. Nirmal, welcome and very much look forward to your insights today.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you for the warm welcome and warm intro.
Yes, you bet. All right. Well, let us get to our first question, and that is, please share how your software engineering background and experience prepared you for leading AI engineering, and tell us about your role at Wayfair.
Yeah. So I have been in the software industry over 18 years. I've worked with like smaller companies, medium scale, large companies, you just name it. Have seen different kind of projects, initiatives. So I'm aware of like all the pain points, friction points, and cross-functional collaboration issues, stakeholder issues. So you just name it. And all of those issues and the experience really helped me to pinpoint the specific initiatives, specific projects, and specific phases of the projects, like where we can implement the AI, where it will work effectively, and where it will not work effectively. Yeah. In Wayfair, I am owning and managing supply chain tier one systems, mostly in the supply chain. One of the example from one of my system is we generate billions of routes every day to move the customer order from point A to point B, right? One of my another system, we take care of the inventory positioning, like where in which warehouse we should position the inventory so we can deliver the customer order faster.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And tell us a little bit about the Mass Tech Leadership Council as well, that CAIO peer group.
Yeah, so that's the chief AI officer peer group within the Boston. So I'm part of that. We meet every quarter in Boston in person. We talk about the different challenges that everybody is facing from different companies. So all of those people are from different companies within the Boston. And we talk about the issues, challenges, if there are any new metrics related to ROI, we talk about that. And if there are any future plans that somebody need help with or just want to talk about it or brainstorm it. So it's a really good community, a really good group of people. The people are from different companies, including CEOs, CIOs, CROs, chief AI officers, directors, VPs. So it's really good to have that group and meeting in person. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Thank
Yep.
you for that. You manage large AI engineering teams. How do you help engineers get comfortable with using AI without feeling replaced or judged?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, when we talk about AI, and overall in the industry, everybody is scared, and
Yes.
there is anxiety like the AI will replace us, right? So I think in a different way. The way I lead my teams, I first build the trust, not focusing on the tools. So start with like very clear objective and messagings like why we need to use the AI, where we are using the AI. And the AI is really here to help you and to move faster, not to replace your thinking and not to replace your job, right? And with that, I also encouraged teams to start with a low risk experiment first rather than coming up with a really large scale AI implementation that required a lot of effort, human and the AI spending, right? So I suggest like start with something smaller, share some real example, come up with the real example or problem that you can solve, and then you iterate on it. Like once you learn, do some experiment. If you see the output results, it's working, not working, you keep iterating, and then slowly, gradually you scale the project, right? Rather than boiling the ocean, right? Then
Neat. Yeah, that's quick wins then and gain some confidence, that kind
yeah,
of.
definitely. It's really important to build that momentum. And also, I encourage teams to share the learnings. It doesn't require to be a really flashy or full-fledged demo. You just come to the meeting, have a demo, lunch and learn session, talk to other engineers, share your learnings. If you build something, if you are working on any MVP or POC, just explain about it. If you have a slide, that's fine. It's no. I also invite the leadership openly to the demo, right? So one of the
Neat.
example
Yeah.
in my last demo, I invited one of our engineering director to talk about it, like, okay, how you are using the AI, like how AI is affecting you. So the director was able to demo, showcase in front of everyone, the whole group. And that was a really good example to show everyone rather than the forcing the AI from top to bottom. Yeah.
Neat. Good idea. Let's related question then about your engineering teams. What skills do you believe will matter most for engineers in an AI first world? I saw AI first on your LinkedIn profile, so tell us about that.
Yeah. Um, I still think the strong computer science fundamental problem solving, critical thinking, and the domain knowledge, all of these skills are very, very important, right? So I will give you an example. Like, let's say two engineers using the AI, let's say they are using the cursor editor, right? One of the engineer is very strong. He has all the domain knowledge, system knowledge. He knows the code-based repository, and his critical thinking and problem solving skills are like really solid, right? And he pauses before using the AI, right? He think about it, ask right question, validate the problem, dig into detail, and then write the code, right? So that's one engineer. The another engineer who is very excited about the AI, and he just jump into writing into the code using the cursor editor. So this person, the second engineer, had a lot of like GitHub pull request and the lot of lines of code. But if we see in the longer term, like after a couple of months, what do you think from where we will get the most quality? Like, are we going to get from the engineer one or engineer two?
Right. Engineer
Right.
one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So of course the engineer one. So I still think the strong computer science, fundamental critical thinking, system thinking, using the right judgment is very critical. So if you combine these skills with AI, then the magic happens. Yeah.
Let's get on to our next question. And that is, how do you a little preamble here. There's a lot of attention about AI's high cost and AI's failures. So how do you measure ROI and success when it comes to AI initiatives?
Yeah. Um, So the way I measure is like I measure in terms of like longer term benefit and longer term gains, right? I do not focus on the short term gains because if we think at the larger scale and the enterprise level, the real ROI, it's takes time, right? At the enterprise scale and for the big initiatives, it's take easily like 2 to 3 years to see the real impact and the real ROI, right? I do like track all the standard engineering matrices like PR count, lead time, code review turnaround, and all of that. But that doesn't give me the actual ROI, right? So the way to get the actual ROI is like either you come up with a very specific use case with business outcome first, and then you calculate the ROI for that business outcome, right? You can do that, right? But what happened, most of the companies, like they have their day-to-day work, they already have their roadmap and strategic initiatives already. It doesn't necessarily everything will be related to AI, right? So at enterprise scale, it's really hard to get the ROI. The way I think we should be thinking is like currently the industry is going through the evolution phase, right? So we are learning, there are new models, new tools, we are learning, experimenting, building all at the same time, right? So it's really hard to calculate the ROI until unless you have a very, very specific business outcome, which is linked to the AI. Otherwise, it's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned some of those. Uh, we mentioned some in your bio about cost savings in particular. You
Right.
that's something you could identify, and
Yeah. And the other way to think is like we don't have to rush for AI, right? There are already a lot of tools and workflows exist which solves your problem without AI. So you need to be really careful. Like, don't use the AI just for sake of AI and with the hype, right? Make sure AI is solving the right problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
good, really good point. I like that. What advice would you give leaders who want AI impact but don't know where to start?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, One advice I would give is like to the leaders, like make sure you understand what is AI, right? That's really important, right? Make sure you understand what is the difference between large language models, small language models, smaller models. What is notebook LM? Like non-tech companies, I met with multiple CEOs and executives. Most of them don't know what is notebook LM, right? So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
really concerning, right? Make sure the people in the leadership, they have the AI literacy. Take like 2 days off, schedule some time, take some course, just the executive level course for 2 days boot camp and understand everything. What is Gen AI? What is agentic AI? And all the terms and all the things that you need to know, right? That's really important. Otherwise, if you are just approving the millions and dollars of budget without knowing what is AI and how AI makes decision, that's very risky, right? So would someone approve and 10 million just for the factory if the person doesn't have a manufacturing knowledge? They won't, right? So why we do that for AI? We shouldn't do it.
Good point.
So my advice is like learn what is AI, make sure you understand, start something smaller, right? Start something smaller, stay focused, just pick up one real pain point and one problem, right? Which already exists in your company or organization, and then you reiterate on it. Once you start seeing the results, as we discussed earlier, then you can keep on expanding.
So executives need to understand it, and then there has to be training programs around it as well, then
Yes,
forever.
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, make sure your board understand. That's very
Yeah.
important. If your board doesn't understand, like it's the responsibility of the executive C-suite team to make sure they educate the board.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Excellent advice. Thank you for that. All right. Well, how about some predictions? What are the biggest challenges and opportunities that you predict for AI in business and corporate settings?
Yeah. Um, the way I think the challenges and opportunities come together at the same time. So I have seen multiple times across the teams and engineers how they are using the AI, right? So would give you an example. A couple of the engineers in one team using the AI, but they are using as a thinking partner, right?
Right.
Uh, they bought their domain knowledge. They are asking the right questions. They are validating the output, and they are also exploring multiple options for the problem, right? Those teams and engineers moved much faster, right? And they were able to make better decision. In another team, the engineers were using the AI, but they were treating the AI just as an answer machine, right? Um, they were not validating the output. The context was missing, the data was missing, the critical thinking was in the back seat. Instead of reducing the work, the AI created an overburden for them, right? It created more work for future. They were taking more time to review the code. It created more confusion within the team, right? So I would say again, you need to know how to use the AI. That's really, really important. So organization must invest in learning. I do understand making the time for learning for teams is really hard because you are always working and you always wanted to achieve some kind of business goal, right? But as I said, we are in the evolution phase. If you don't create that culture within the company, within the organization, if you don't create the culture from top to bottom, they are not going to learn. If they don't learn, they will use the AI without governance. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that culture you mentioned is that AI first term that you used as well, right? Everyone
Yes.
has to know AI first. It's part of our culture now. And we're seeing, company after corporation after organization, like you say, evolve to this, right? It's an evolution. We're in the
Right.
middle of an evolution that's
Right.
really only a couple of years old. I know as a software engineer, you might have been using AI, 10 years ago, but for most of us, this is like 2 years old and really the last year. So
Yes.
2026 is going to be a really interesting year
Yeah.
for sure. And
The things are moving very, very fast. So that's why it's like learning, reiterating, experimenting is really, really critical. Yeah.
neat. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So if we were to boil down a closing thought, what's one piece of wisdom that you'd like to leave your AI leader peers with about AI, of course, and for that matter, the future of work?
Yeah. Um, I would say only one thing. Don't ask what jobs will be replaced, right? Don't ask what AI
Yeah.
will replace.
Yeah.
Ask what constraint can be finally removed, right? Ask like what problems you can solve that you are waiting and those used to take like months and years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very, very good piece of wisdom there because there's so much media attention about statements like AI is going to replace 50% of our workforce in 3 years, so there is that fear, right? So you turn that around and say, how do you make our careers, our companies, our success, how do you make it better with AI
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
not dwell on the negative? But
Yeah. Yeah,
so
some of the jobs will go away. We are already saying it's going away, right? But we also need to think like there are a lot of new jobs will be coming because of AI, right? So that's
right.
the positive side, which is where we should be focusing on.
I agree. Well, Nirmal, I'd like to thank you for all your great insights today and your perspective, and it's our first perspective from an AI engineer at an enterprise level corp. So I think you bring some nuance to it that we haven't seen in our new series here that you can see is available at aileaders.org backslash AI dash innovators. So you will see this and other interviews there. So Nirmal, thank you so much, and it was delightful to meet you, and we look forward to further collaboration.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. Pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
All right, you as well. Take care. Thank you.